I was looking at someone's Instagram yesterday, and she commented that she got a CT scan before the radiation, which I also did, because they need to use that for planning purposes. They do imaging, and at that time when she had the CT scan for planning, she found out that she had suspicious activity in other parts of her. She had breast cancer, so in other parts, so it reoccurred somewhere else before she got radiation. And I thought, well, okay, I've gone now through that CT machine twice, on two separate occasions. I should say it's actually more than twice, because each visit they put me through the CT machine twice or three times. I think twice. So really, they should have basically 4 sets of images. So I just called my radiation oncologist because I wanted to know is he going to be looking for anything. I know that wasn't the point of why I was going into the machine, but so I just called and spoke to the receptionist, and she's going to pass the message along to him, and he'll probably call me right away, or at least before Monday. He only works Mondays and Tuesdays in the office, but he's so on top of it. He really has followed me every step of the way, and he knows what's going on with me better than I do from a clinical standpoint, because he reads the notes extremely thoroughly, and sometimes I don't even see the notes. But so I asked her if she could ask him if he would look at the imaging and see if there's anything suspicious, and she said, well, is there something in particular that you're wanting to know about? And I'm like, well, yeah, the whole area. Like, why would they get these images and not be looking for something suspicious? I mean, I know that their job is to administer radiation, so that's what's most important to them. But my God, why would they not be also looking at images? So I said, yeah. I mean, the reason I thought of it, I just listened to a woman on YouTube actually, and she was detailing out how it went with the radiation. It was a really good video, because I don't really know exactly what to expect, because I haven't gotten one treatment yet. And then I felt this thing in my sternum, and it could be my seatbelt. I know it's weird. The seatbelt's not even really pressing on that area, but there is a little bit of pressure, just kind of auxiliary pressure, it's just sort of on peripheral pressure, I should say. Here comes an emergency vehicle. So a lot of times I wear my seatbelt under my arm, which is not safe, obviously, but it takes the pressure off of my breast and sternum area. So I was feeling pressure there, and I said, can you please look at the sternum? And for some reason, I've just been really worried about radiation more than chemo. I haven't mentioned recently, I think it's been a while, that I have some things going on in my eyes. I did mention it in one video, but they're still there. It looks like I may have gotten another bump in my left eye. My left eye is the one that's not doing as well. And it's started to feel a little bit of a pain, whereas this whole time, since I've had this thing on my eye for a month or two, there has been no pain associated with it. And now, as of this morning, I'm kind of feeling pain there. I have an ophthalmological appointment next Friday, so hopefully they'll be able to figure something out. It really bums me out that it's taken so long for me to get in there. I kind of wish I would have asked to get a referral somewhere else. But anyway, the point being, chemo, I was afraid of chemo, obviously. Who wants to dump poison in their body? But with chemo, I just felt like I could really detox myself. I could detox, I could push it through, I could sweat it out, I could enema, I could do all these things to bombard my system with healthy, beneficial things. And with radiation, I just don't know how that's possible. I mean, maybe that's it. I'm just kind of putting it together as I think about it and talk about it out loud, that radiation has scared me the most, because I feel like I can't undo radiation in any particular way. It's setting me up for weakness in the bone and vulnerability in the places that it touches, which is a lot, right? I mean, I've had sore throats over time, and my doctor said that the beam is lined up in such a way that it won't be impacting the throat. So I feel good about that, and he's got the beam lined up so it won't be impacting my heart. But some of these side effects show up many years later. So it's really hard to be able to pinpoint radiation as the culprit. In my opinion, if something shows up 7 years later, I mean, how can you say it was radiation? How could you say it was anything? It's just so, the cause and effect are so spread out. So anyway, I felt like sharing that. We'll see. He'll probably call me and speak to me. But when I was there a couple days ago getting fitted, we parted ways so quickly I wasn't really able to ask him my questions. And then I don't know when radiation's starting, so I'll find that out as well when he calls me back. All right. Wow, I just started recording. I spoke to my doctor, Dr. Kraus, and I asked him why it wasn't just a matter of course that if they're doing a CT, why wouldn't they automatically look to see if there were anything suspicious or anything that looks abnormal in any way? And he said, well, for a few reasons. One reason, insurance has to pay for it, which is a pretty shitty reason, but it's still a reason. And then the second reason is that a CT, they don't go through the normal diagnostic procedures, which I didn't get into the detail of what that means, but there are normal things that they do that they aren't doing when the CT scan is happening. Like one of them is contrast. It's without contrast, so it makes it a lot less reliable without the contrast. And then the third reason for me would be that I had an MRI. I can't remember when I had the MRI, but basically a CT is not as good as an MRI. So he's going to have the radiation therapist or the radiologist, the radiologist doctor look at it just as a favor from him, but there should be no reason why they'll find anything. So he, of course, made me feel a lot better about it, which I appreciated. I mean, he really is the best medical advocate I have for myself at this point because he's so available. I mean, he wasn't even working today, but he called me, and I really appreciated that because I needed him to quell my fear and answer all my questions, which he's really good at. So yeah, it's good news. It's good news that he's going to look, and it's probable news that there should be nothing to be found. And one, it might not even be that great of a diagnostic tool because I had an MRI, but I need to look up and see when I had the MRI because for the life of me, I can't remember. My memory has really left me in a way that I wasn't expecting. It has to be a result of chemo. It has to be maybe a result of the antibiotics that I'm on. But yeah, I had no idea that I was going to lose my ability to remember in the degree that I have. So anyway, I'm getting through it. I'm staying positive. I'm staying positive and I'm getting through it.